Yes, we are live. We are so totally live, and I'm just gonna skip the little stream starting soon uh, music thing because that's just gonna be a waste. But I'm here with the one and only writer, comedian, filmmaker, podcaster, the host of the 1000 podcast, and also with a movie Left at Wall, which I didn't put in the disclaimer there. Ron Placone. Ron,
Thanks,
how are
thanks
you
for having
doing?
me. Sorry, sorry, there are all those random things to ramble off, but yeah, I'm a variety is the spice of life creator. So thank you for that. Good to
Oh
see you,
no,
man.
good to see you and good to meet you. I've
I
been
got
following your work for a long time, especially in the leftist podcasting space. I'm sorry if my voice is a little scratchy. I should be a little bit more louder, so I hope I'm coming in clear. Uh,
fighting a cold or what's going on?
no, no, it's just that when I get into this microphone, it's like I don't know. Maybe I should probably just drink a little bit more, hydrate more.
Have some water, dude. Gotta hydrate. I still mess up hydrating. I live in Los Angeles, and sometimes you forget that like it's a desert,
Mm-hmm.
and you just need to hydrate a little more than maybe you are.
Yeah, yeah. Um, so I mean, I wrote down not so much they started off as questions on this little clipboard here, and also want to say hi to some of the people in chat. Don James, Saddest Pick. We're streaming both on Twitch and YouTube, so we don't have any people in YouTube chat yet. But I wrote some questions, not really questions, but just bullet points uh, to basically kind of fill time.
Okay.
So, see, I'm starting
Fill
to be a
away.
fill it, yeah, fill away. So you're a comedian, obviously. Uh, I'll just start off. What got you into comedy?
Well, there were a couple things. So I played in like punk bands and little garage bands all throughout high school and stuff like that. And then I started doing it in college a little bit too. And I simultaneously I was really starting to get radicalized like at the beginning of college because I was questioning like why are we in Iraq? This doesn't make any sense. Something's off here. And then I started discovering Noam Chomsky's work and people like that. And then it was sort of off to the races politically. And and then simultaneously I was like, playing some music, dabbling in it a little bit, and I was in this band. I mean, I guess calling us a band is, I mean, we were just trying to get it together, but it was hard. We all lived in dorms and we're busy and blah, blah, blah. And we had this show booked, and we like just straight up weren't prepared to do the show. And we kind of felt like we shouldn't be a band anymore. And I was really bummed out about that. I didn't want to, I didn't want to bail on this like little show. Um, so I just started doing this one man thing. It was sort of like a satirical folk type thing. So I just did that for the night, and then it went not completely terrible. So I kept doing it. Um, and eventually I realized, and it like became like kind of like political and satirical, and I started getting into some of that kind of stuff, like the anti-folk scene in New York and stuff like that. Um, and I was doing my own weird, quirky version of that in Bloomington, Indiana. And eventually I realized, I was measuring the success of a show based on how many laughs I was getting. And so it seemed like stand-up comedy sort of made sense. Simultaneously, I was getting into, like a lot of like radio and lefty radio and stuff like that. And so I thought comedy would be a way to get into quote radio, even though at the time radio was pretty much dead as a medium, even back
Oh
then.
yeah, yeah,
But
definitely.
but yeah, so I started doing stand-up, and then I got bit by the bug because that was like fair amount of time ago at this point, and yeah, I'm still doing it. So yeah, but I wasn't one of those people who was a big student of stand-up comedy. I didn't know anything about it. I didn't even know you were supposed to write jokes, which is kind of like wild to think about now. But I didn't even know you were supposed to like write up stuff ahead of time. I thought every stand-up was just riffing that on stage, which is true sometimes. But
Mhm.
usually, you write jokes ahead of time though. I didn't even know that when I started. So yeah, my like kind of origin story in stand up is even crazier than most because I like literally didn't even know how to do it when I
Mhm.
did it for
Yeah.
the first time. And plus, the first time I did it wasn't even at an open mic; it was at a proper show,
Mhm.
which was so ridiculous. I mean, when I think back on that now, I'm like, wow, that was so stupid.
Yeah.
So yeah, but somehow I kept going.
I mean, you evolve, right? I mean, you've learned your chops basically going
Yeah,
forward
the first step
in
I
the
learned
comedy scene.
was you should write jokes. So that was the
That's
first
what
thing.
Carlin did, or at
Yeah,
least we know
yeah.
he did.
So I learned that first, and that was like, okay, I'll know this for next time.
Mm.
It's actually kind of funny. There's this comedian who is still in LA, as am I. A guy named Andy Hendrickson. He's really funny. He was one of the comics on the bill, and he was a working
Mhm.
comic at the time. He was one of the comics on the bill when I did my first ever guest set, and I bombed
Mm.
completely. I had no idea what I was doing. And then he went up and did great because he was a professional comic at the time. And afterwards, I remember being like, "Hey, man, do you have any advice for me?" And
Mhm.
he just goes, "Well, I think you should maybe write some jokes. Like, did you write that stuff ahead of time?" And I'm like, "No, I just made it up when I was up there." And he was like, "Well, you should." And I literally wrote down in my notebook, I was like, "Write jokes." And yeah, we've since, I mean, we don't know each other crazy well, but like we've seen
Mhm.
each other at other events over the years. So like and I don't even know if he remembers that moment, or if he remembers that it was me because I looked a lot different back then. I had like long hair and a bunch of piercings. I looked like you, except I had a bunch more
I
piercings.
I've had
Um,
long hair since for over, 14, 15 years, so I haven't
yeah,
really changed much, aside from the fact that I did kinda cut my hair, periodically a few years. I've just decided to grow the long hair out. But anyway,
yeah, no, my hair was like yours back then. So yeah, he might not even, but yeah, and I didn't have glasses at the time either. So yeah, I definitely look pretty different, but I don't know if he remembers. But yeah, it's kind of funny. Like
yeah,
so that's my origin story.
a pretty good origin story. So then you move. So you're from Wilmington, Illinois, you said? From
No, I
Illinois?
grew up in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and then I went to college at Indiana University in Bloomington, Indiana.
Mhm.
So, and that's technically where I like tried comedy for the first time. Like I wasn't really doing it because I didn't know how to do it, but I like tried it for
Mhm.
the first time out there, and then tried it like a few more times, and then it wasn't until I moved out to Seattle that I really started
The
doing
heart of the
stand.
grunge community, right?
Yeah, well, that was all over by the time I got there, but yeah. There was, Seattle was just a really cool place to start in comedy because the scene was just really solid at the time. It still is, as far as
Mhm.
I know, but at the time it was like just a really great scene. You could get up like every night of the week on like open mics and stuff like that. So it was a really great place to kind of cut your teeth and get started. And a lot of the people that I came up with are still in the game. Like they're
Mhm.
still
They're
like, and
still on the comedy circuit. They're
my
still in.
hair, yeah. So to answer Don's question, it was like shoulder length. It might have been a little longer than John's right
It
now. Like it
right,
was it
yeah,
was
probably
shoulder
like
length.
this length,
Yeah, it was about
about
that. It was like shoulder length hair. Um if you I think there are still some pictures floating around on my personal Facebook page of like, because at one point I sang one year for Halloween, we did a Misfits cover band and I sang
Mhm.
for it. So we didn't do like the makeup or anything like that because I like I yeah that was a little too much for me. But I did the whole like I had pleather pants and I was covered
Mhm.
in fake blood and I was shirtless and I like had this like crazy long hair and I was like singing. And I think a picture of that is still somewhere
Yeah,
on the internet.
and that was, like, during
Uh,
the punk phase, I guess you'd call it. You're just, like, in a mic, just screaming, just being rebellious.
I never lost my punk phase. I'm still just I'm still just like an aging punk rocker, but
I
for
know.
better or worse. But
On that
yeah.
note, I have not lost my emo phase of the 2000s.
Oh
For
yeah, I
anyone in
still
chat,
love all that stuff. Yeah.
would recognize that emo phase. They
Were
know what
you
I'm talking about.
what were some of your favorite go-tos?
Ah, go tos. That's a good question. There were so many of them.
Yeah.
Let's see. Panic at the Disco, if they count.
Oh, so
Paramore,
this you were more like mid
mid
2000s.
2000s. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So I was wondering if
Panic.
it's like were you into like Juliana Theory or like Saves the Day or like
I'd heard of Saves the Day. I mean, they're
they
obviously
kind of stood
late
the test of time
90s.
a little bit. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. Same with Juliana Theory. And then there was what Thursday, were you into Thursday?
Hmm.
Uh and then going further back than that, there was like American football, and then it's like, and then if you want to go like
Never.
really far back, it's like Rites of Spring and shit like that.
Yeah.
Were you into At the Drive-In?
I've heard of them.
You
I'll have to be reacquainted with them at
Oh,
some
you gotta
point.
listen. All
Yeah.
right, take a deep dive into At the Drive-In. You know, it's funny. All right, I don't want to like hijack your freaking
No,
show,
go ahead. Go
but
ahead. You're the guest, man.
if
You're
you're
the
gonna bring
guest.
music up, I could like just geek out for like a long time. It's like, oh, we didn't
Hey,
talk about anything else, but
both of us can
I
geek
have
out.
a I have a I have a little well, I referred to him as my little cousin. He's a grown
Hmm.
man now, and I think recently engaged. But at one point, he was my younger cousin. Well, he still is my younger cousin, but he's a
Hmm.
grown up now. But when I was like a road comic, I would always
Hmm.
stop and I would always crash with him and my family in Michigan because they lived in
Hmm.
Michigan, and Michigan is on the way to and from a bunch of different places. So I would like stop and crash with them on off nights a lot. So I got to like know them pretty well and whatnot. And he was getting into music, and he was like in high school,
Hmm.
and he was showing me some of the stuff he was into, and it was some of like the newer wave of like the pop punk stuff and some of like the proggier punk stuff.
Hmm.
And I go, well, are you into At the Drive-In? And he goes, so I've heard that name, but I'm not. And I'm like, all right, you gotta start listening to At the Drive-In. And I like showed him some stuff. And then I come through like the next year, and there's like an At the Drive-In poster in his bedroom. And I'm like, hey man, cool poster. Who introduced you to those guys? And he just kind of laughed. And then like a couple years after that, he actually came out to visit me in LA, and we drove to Vegas for punk rock bowling because At the
Hmm.
Drive-In was playing. And I was just like, hey man, you want to come to this At the Drive-In show? Just get yourself to LA. I'll take care of everything else. Like just get to
Oh,
LA,
nice.
crash with me. I got our tickets. I'll get us to Vegas.
Nice.
And yeah, like just get out here. So it was a pretty cool, thing. Anyway, yeah,
So
fun story.
speaking of punk, on the subject of punk, were you like at, this is just my curiosity now, the van, like the Warp Tour? Were you ever like a like part of that scene, like the Vans Warp Tour of the 1990s?
I
Like,
mean, I never was in a band successful enough to make it to that point, but yeah, I went as a person. Like I was one of those. Like I have. It's kind of funny. I'm just old enough to have experienced like the tail end of like the heyday of the Warp Tour, like mid
mhm,
'90s. I mean, I was pretty young, but
yeah,
I was just old enough to start going to those kind of shows. So it's funny, like talking to the younger generations because a lot of the shit they don't think it was real. Like they're
right.
like
Until you show,
the band barbecue, that wasn't a real thing. No, that was fucking real.
right,
That was
exactly,
real. Like I
exactly.
freaking,
Until
you
you
know,
show them like a documentary or like video footage to
yeah,
show it was real, and then they're
it
like,
was
"Oh,
real.
okay,
And then they're
yeah."
like, that wasn't real. It was freaking real. Like I met so Sublime was already no longer a band because
Mhm,
Bradley Noel
yeah.
had died, but Long Beach Dub
R.I.P.
All
Yeah.
Stars were still around. And
Yep.
so I got to meet Lou Dog right
Oh,
before he died. Yeah, I met Lou Dog and the rest of the band too. But
I
it was like,
mean,
holy shit, I
yeah.
got to like pet Lou Dog. Yeah.
You
So
bring
yeah,
up,
the band barbecue was a thing.
yeah. I was like, you bring up Sublime, and I'm transported back to that 4-year-old or 5-year-old me that was like way into the ska punk of that era. Uh,
When you were
I,
5? Damn,
I was 5. This was
good for you.
96.
Yeah,
So this was 1996. So yeah,
you were a 5-year-old rocking out
I
to
was
Third Way to
5.
Scott.
Yeah, I was so about 5 or 6 years old, because I remember it was a 97 when the self-titled album came out, the Posthumous one,
Yeah, and he was already
and
dead.
he was yeah, he had
Yeah,
already
like, he had
passed on,
passed,
sadly.
and yeah, it's yeah, no, it's I mean, I live in San Pedro, which is right across the bridge from Long Beach, which is where
Mhm.
Sublime, still lives. So it's kinda Bud, their drummer, is, like, MAGA now, which is kinda sad.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
Bud's MAGA. I don't know if the rest of the band is, but
I
yeah,
know
so
his son is, like, front they, like,
his
reformed.
son, yeah, like, it's yeah, which is kind of weird, but I feel like appropriate for them because they were always more about, like, the community of Sublime, so I guess it's not, like, totally out of left field that
Right.
his son has kinda, like, taken over, so to speak. I don't know if the rest of the band's MAGA, but I know the
Oh,
drummer is.
shit, that just, like,
It's
popped
a
a real big
bummer.
yeah,
Yeah, it's a bummer. I don't know.
yeah,
Maybe the rest of the band isn't, and they just don't talk about it. Who knows?
yeah, they're
But
just like it's like a hush hush thing. Like, "Yeah, we're not gonna talk about your politics, but just keep
so
that."
when people get money, man, sometimes it
Yeah,
changes them. And I'd imagine they made some money over the years.
yeah, yeah. Um, let's see, now we just veered off into, like, literally what I had written down, because I was gonna talk about, like, your comedy
Sublime.
influence. Yeah, we just went from punk music to Warped Tour to Sublime. Uh, I was gonna
For
ask
any of
you
those well, I
about
know we're
your
on Twitch, so there's definitely gonna be some younger folks on Twitch. So yes, the
yeah,
band barbecue was real,
th
people of the
there you
Twitch.
go, there you
Band
go,
barbecue was
there
real.
you go, there you go. Um, so who were some of your speaking of comedy, like, who were some of your comedy influences growing up?
Um, well, I mean, like I said, I wasn't super into comedy until I started doing it, but like some of the folks that I gravitated to early on and are still some of my favorites. Carlin, you mentioned George Carlin. Love
The
George
best.
Carlin.
Yeah, same.
Bill Hicks, big Bill Hicks
Mhm.
fan. Um, who else are some of my favorites right now? My favorite stand-up right now is Maria Bamford. I
I
love
don't think I've heard of
her
her.
stuff. She's phenomenal. I like Maria Bamford a lot. I like Ted Alexandro's one of my favorite comedians to watch. Judah Friedlander.
Mhm, I always
Um,
loved Judah.
Sammy Obeid is one of my favorite comedians right now. He's a
Mhm,
Palestinian comedian.
mhm.
What he's doing is freaking phenomenal. Amy Miller, I like Amy Miller a lot. Robin Tran is one of my favorite comics right now. There's a lot of really good ones, which is great.
Yeah,
It kind of it keeps you on your toes because you see what other people are doing, and you're like, "Fuck, I gotta keep going." So it's cool.
yeah, yeah, it's great you mentioned Judah, 'cause
Yeah, Judah's awesome.
yeah. If you ever seen that, and this is my first, when I first saw Judah, you remember that Dave Matthews Band, video, that song "Every Day," where he's going around hugging all the people, anybody in chat, I
No.
mean, this was, like, 2001, this was right after 9/11, and it was must have been probably 9/11, and he was, like, going around all the people and just, like, giving them hugs, and, you can look this up, and then years later, I looked it up, and it was Judah Friedlander, and,
Oh, that's funny.
yeah, he was,
I didn't know that. Yeah, Judah was the guy there.
yeah, ironically, also, I found him because he would go on TYT a lot as a interview,
Oh,
and I was like,
Judah did?
"Oh, yeah,"
I didn't know that.
or
Okay,
maybe it
I
was
know he's
Judah?
on that stuff some, but yeah.
I think it was either
Well, I
Judah.
met him from the Jimmy Dore show. I knew
Mhm,
who Judah Friedlander was just
mhm,
because I knew who Judah Friedlander was. But I didn't get to meet him until he was coming in studio for the Jimmy Dore show, which was like right when his Netflix special dropped. He was like coming to
mhm,
LA. So yeah, like we scheduled him like through Netflix, which was kind of wild. But yeah, then he came in studio and was just like, cool as shit, playing ping
yeah.
pong and stuff like that. And then he'd come back and yeah. But I mean that was some years ago.
I was thinking it was Judah and, shit, who else was it? I forget, my mind's blanking, but yeah, I mean, I was gonna, during this whole interview, I was gonna maybe try to poke and prod if you were comfortable talking about Jimmy Dore, but seeing as that you already wrote
Yeah,
today,
I was gonna
a
say, if you saw my Substack today,
I
I
was like,
mean,
well, I don't think it's really pointless. I mean, God only knows you've said what you needed to say in the past
yeah, I mean, it's one of
about
those
it.
I've talked about it. It's not something I'm uncomfortable talking about. I mean, anytime someone's asked me, I've answered. I'm just not like it's one of those things. Like I'm not gonna like go off on
Mhm.
a bunch
On
of
a rant.
details unless
Yeah.
I'm asked. You know, like if someone asks, like, "Oh, well, why did you quit?" I will answer it. You know, the problem has always been in sort of like the soundbite obsession of like, you know, the YouTube space or whatever, you know, they just want some like really simple, compact answer. And
Mhm.
it's not like I don't know. It was a pretty big life decision quitting something like that. So
Right.
I mean, it'd be a lie if I was like, it was one thing. Of course, it wasn't one thing. It was
Yeah.
like a combination of things. You know, so that's part of the reason I wrote the piece about it because I get asked about it a lot still, and I felt like, well, it's probably good to like just set the record straight,
Mhm.
um, and just kind of have it out there as a way to be like, yeah, this is why you can take it however you want, and you know, oh geez, wow, that's harsh. Um, but yeah, I mean, since I've released it, and even still, it's kind of funny. Like I acknowledged how, like, you know, there's certain online loud sex that you know will never be satisfied no matter what you say or
Yeah.
what you do. And I've already been proven correct because like there's been
Mhm.
people, you know, especially some of his stands who are just like going off about like how terrible the article was and how dare I say such a thing and it's so disingenuous.
I I read
The
it in one sitting, and I'll just say that I enjoyed it because I can tell
Well,
you
thank you.
I should also tell you I never liked Jimmy Dore,
Okay, that's fine.
and even when he was at TYT, I was like,
You didn't like
"This is
him.
not no,"
Yeah, and
because
that's fine. I mean, I totally Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but yeah.
no, go ahead.
No, I was just
That
gonna
was
say, I totally get how it's not for everyone, and I knew that when I was there. And you know, but the one thing I was just, you know, it's so funny, like some of his more diehard stands are just saying like, "Oh man, this is so disingenuous," and so. But it's like if you read the entire piece, like I don't know, I consider it a very fair piece that just talks
mhm,
about my experience, talks about the good and the bad.
mhm,
And, you know, it's kind of interesting to me that it's like, oh, well, you didn't, you know, when I talked about all the other things, you didn't highlight any of that. You know, you just talked about
mhm,
the stuff that so I don't know. I mean, it's one of those things. People kind of see what they want to see.
mhm.
They hear what they
They
want to hear.
assume what yeah, they
But
assume the
yeah,
obvious.
but in a Substack piece, at least it's kinda like, well, even if you are just gonna screenshot certain things, people can go to the actual source material and read the whole thing for themselves. And
Yeah.
yeah, I'm getting the vibe your audience are
Yeah.
not your
I mean,
fans,
they kn
which is
and a lot of
fine,
them
that's their
know.
choice. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
A
yeah,
lot of them
which
know
is
I'm
fine.
not a fan either, so
Yeah, that's fine, and you know, I don't maybe you hated me at one point, I don't know,
oh,
but,
no, no, not at all. I I live in Kansas City, so I live in the same town as Gavin and Zach from the Vanguard.
Oh, yeah,
Mm.
yeah, yeah.
And so when they had you on the show and somebody in the super chat brought it up, uh, you did this, and I was like, "Well, I this is that was my first time, actually getting to know you from someone else's stream, a hometown stream."
Gotcha, yeah.
So it's like, he's cool. He's not with the show anymore, and, Ron's not with the show anymore, so it's not really, I should not hold it against him, so
Yeah, I mean, hey, and some people are going to, and that's their choice. There are God, how many podcasts? How many thousands of podcasts and or
oh,
millions rather? It's like there's millions of podcasts. So if you're, you know, selecting what to listen to and you don't like, you know, the Jimmy Dore show, I may forever be guilt by association. Is that fair? Of course not. Is that like relevant to what I'm up to now? Absolutely not. But that's how some
you're
people are
your
gonna
own
be,
man.
you know,
You're
like
your
you
own
can't
person.
Yeah, exactly, and I've
Yeah.
always, I always have been, so has everybody else, but, I mean, that's just something that you have to accept about human nature is when they're deciding
Mhm.
what they want to or don't want to fill their eyeballs and ear holes with. So, I want
Yeah.
to be judged as my own person. I think everybody does, but if that's not going to be extended to me by everybody, well, so be it. That's life, you
Yeah,
know.
that's just how it is. You just move on.
You just
That
move
that
on.
you just that ended and you just move on. That's how you do
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, that's how it
And
goes. You
and
end and you
and
move
and
on.
I'll say this, that you've done fairly well post the JD years with what you've done with coming back into the live streaming and the this movie Left at Wall, which I haven't seen yet. I know it's on Tubi, so that's great.
I recommend
Uh,
watching it on Tubi because it's free there. You can get it. I mean, if you don't do Tubi, it's on Apple. It's on YouTube Movies, so you can get it right on
mhm,
YouTube. It's just like a couple dollars or whatever. You can do. I mean, I'm not a big Amazon fan, but it is on Amazon because you have to have a movie. I mean, you can't. It's hard to avoid. So yeah, the movie's on Amazon. The movie is on Google Play. It's on a bunch of places. I just
mhm.
recommend Tubi because it's free there. It's free with
Yeah,
ads. TYT mods quit.
that
Uh,
was a speaking
yeah,
of
what does
TYT.
that refer to exactly? Does that refer to, like, Hank and all that
Yeah,
stuff? You
well,
and you guys are
yes,
doing that?
Hank, but myself, I mean, I'll try to give you
Oh,
the
you're a mod. Oh, no
I
shit, I didn't
was.
know that. Oh, okay. I
Yeah,
didn't know
I
that about you.
was
Okay.
along with Adrian Vixen and Chad. We were
Oh,
mods
cool.
for the Young Turks
Okay,
it is 3 years. 3 years, I'll
okay.
try to give you the short version. 3 years ago, we were mods, and there was a lot of behind the scenes drama shit that was going down. And we submitted a letter of resignation and basically made a very public splash. And
Yeah, no, I remember hearing I just
yeah,
don't remember all the details, like, I remember the hashtag. I mean, it bums me out on so many levels because it's like, I would love to just be able to have nothing but gratitude for all of that stuff,
mhm,
like I got to do aggressive progressives on TYT, um,
mhm,
but seeing the direction that network has gone in and some of the stuff, you know, Jank and Anna have said over the years,
mhm,
especially living in
yeah,
the same city I mean, I live in Los Angeles. A lot of the stuff they say about, like cops and the
mhm,
homeless,
and
it's
trans people.
yeah, yeah. I mean, yes. I mean, I was sticking strictly to LA stuff, but yeah,
Mhm,
like trans people, like a lot of their takes are like indistinguishable from Fox News on some of those
mhm,
issues, and it's like this is not progressive, y'all, and also
right,
it's just straight up wrong. I mean,
right.
it's
Oh,
straight up wrong to like spew propaganda. I mean, part of the reason we have the problems we have in Los Angeles is because billions of our budget just goes to the cops. And it's not freaking working. It's not
mhm,
like working at all. It's just setting up a giant penal colony.
mhm,
Like better community resources would make any city a much safer place, and the same goes for LA. And they never talk about that. And
right.
when he endorsed Rick Caruso for
Caruso,
mayor,
yeah.
which is like, I mean, if you took the time to go to that guy's website and read what he wanted to do, I mean,
Mhm,
he basically wanted to he was like basically pushing for ICE before ICE was on the streets. I mean, he wanted to have like additional private police forces just on the frickin' streets. He wanted to make essentially a frickin' camp for
mhm,
homeless people. I mean, it was psychotic, the types
yeah,
of ideas this guy was spewing, and he had the ability to get that sort of thing done because he's already a developer, so he's got all of them in his pockets already. So it's like the fact that Cenk Uygur endorsed that, and then there were other people that somehow thought Rick Caruso was like the right choice if you're a leftist, was just beyond the pale ridiculous. And I don't like
yeah,
Karen Bass at all. I like Karen Bass as far as I can throw her. Um, and I thought about just leaving it blank because those are two
mhm,
terrible choices, but I did vote for Bass. because I just felt like you can't let this guy get in. The stuff he wants to do would just be terrible for this city. And, I don't regret that. I'm glad I did, because it's like, if that guy, as awful as things are right now, and with as many hits as LA has taken, if that guy would have been at the reins, I think things would have been so much worse. So
Yeah,
much freaking
yeah,
worse.
yeah, yeah. It's kind of the same that I similar what I have with a current mayor of Kansas City. He's really turned his back on a lot of the minority groups in the town, and tearing down housing that could
Mhm.
be used on the grassroots level into replacing it with gentrified housing that is just like basically rich people houses,
Sure.
rich people
Yeah.
apartments that someone like myself and who lives on a fixed income can never and never will afford, and I do not want to. So we all
No,
don't
I
have that
agree.
poly market money.
Yeah, no, and that's the thing. I mean, that really freaking bothered me that they were trying to, oh, we're the home for progressives, except we're against unions and we're against rent
Mhm.
control. And we, when
Yeah.
it comes to the issue of policing, we sound indistinguishable from Fox News. And oh, and by the way, we endorse Republican billionaires, real estate developers in our community. And it's like, if you truly believed that he was a good option for Los Angeles. Either you are, profoundly uninformed on what's actually going on in your backyard and just shouldn't speak about local politics at all, or you're definitely not progressive. You're like
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
opposite, like the total
Yeah.
opposite, you know. And anyway, so
We don't know what's going on there in the last couple years, and frankly, again, I haven't watched. I don't even watch them at all, like for any reason. Like, yeah, uh, what's your name?
I
So I
think
know
they're just trying to.
Charles. Yeah,
Yes, it was. The union busting they did at TYT was disgusting. And yeah, shout out to Hank and his
yeah.
documentary
Hank
about it.
Thompson. Hank,
Yeah,
yeah, I told
Hank's
him that.
editing my next movie, so yeah. Yeah,
Yeah, I'm pretty good
Hank's a
friends
good
with Hank.
colleague, good friend and colleague, Hank. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's yeah.
Um, but he reached for this clipboard because I had to set it down on the floor. So getting back into the subject of comedy, we really went off, really went into some deep territory there. Uh, so getting into this, so when do you move to LA to do comedy
I moved to
officially?
LA in 2016.
Oh,
I
so you're,
was what's called a road comic, which is exactly what it sounds like. You just drive around the country telling jokes, and you
mhm,
got to be really smart with your logistics. And you can, I
mhm,
don't know if you can still do it, by the way, but back during that era, you could make a living at it. It wasn't the easiest thing in the world, but you could do it, and I did it. I was based in Pittsburgh, my hometown, for a little bit, and then I was based in Nashville, Tennessee, for a couple years because it was just kind of like right in the middle of the country.
mhm,
So yeah, I did like 45 weeks a year on the road. Eventually I was just kind of living out of my car because I just traveled so
yeah,
much. It was kind of pointless to have a permanent residence. And then I decided I didn't want to do that forever. Like I was like, I don't think I want to travel 45 weeks a year forever. So I was like, I should go to LA and, try to figure out something in the biz and
mhm,
see where that goes. And yeah, so that was like, God, 10 years ago now. Well, it's officially been, it was April of 2016. So it's officially been 10 years. That's part of the reason I was publishing all the stuff I've been publishing this week, because I was like, well, I should do a kind of like a reflection
yeah,
of like my first 10 years. And it'd be, I mean, I couldn't mention my first 10 years in LA and not mention the Jimmy Dore show. I mean, I worked there for like a long time, like,
mhm,
like how can
yeah,
I not mention
exactly.
that?
Or the movement for a people's party, which is
Right.
I feel
Yeah.
like
That was the other
I think you
thing.
nailed it. You
Oh,
nailed it
thanks.
right on the head as far as where leftist movements should go. I mean,
It's a
lessons
damn
learned.
shame. Lessons
Yeah.
learned indeed. It's a damn shame. And yeah, I mean, it's a bummer because, like I said, like in the piece, for anyone who hasn't read it, it all started at the Convergence Conference in 2017, which was still one of the coolest freaking conferences I've ever been a part of. Like, there was so much energy and so
Hmm.
many different groups on the left, all kind of united that we have to have an electoral option that is a force to be reckoned with. And if we all put our forces together, we might be able to accomplish something. And I really, it was that energy that, like, the movement for a People's Party happened, and I really thought, I'm like, this is gonna this is gonna go somewhere, and then everything just went wrong,
Imploded.
and it just completely imploded. It became marketing and podcast promotions instead of movement for a People's Party, and it just went to shit. And it's a bummer. Yeah, I did write a piece about it. If anyone wants to, hear all the nitty gritty on my take of it and my experience with it. But yeah, I mean, it's one of those things. I don't know. I mean, I
Oh,
guess you could
yeah.
argue that the whole thing was a mistake, but it's like, well, I don't know. We got to try. So I don't know if I
Yeah.
regret trying. I mean, I it's a bummer what happened, but and I feel
Hmm.
sorry for all the well-intentioned people that put a lot of energy into it because they were misled. But
Yeah, exactly.
but yeah, but I don't know.
Here's the
Uh
article. I dropped it here in case anyone wants to see
yeah,
it. It's the
yeah.
implosion of a move for a People's Party.
Yeah, my Substack
This
is just
is
Ron Placone. I make it easy. So just Ron Placone on
yeah,
Substack
same,
if you wanna.
same.
Yeah.
If
I like
people want to
Substack a lot.
subscribe,
Yeah. Yeah, Substack's my favorite these days. I've had a Substack for a long time, but for a while it was just like, oh, I have an idea for an article, and that would happen like once a year, and I would just need somewhere to post it, so it would be on my Substack. But now I'm kind of leaning into Substack really hard, and that's only been for like the past like month or two, but I'm posting every weekday. So Substack
mhm,
is a great way to follow me. And also I post all my podcast and live streams on Substack too. So you can get my podcast 1000 with Ron Placone there. You can get, I've been streaming once a week, usually with Nolan Higdon from Project Censored.
mhm.
You can get that on my Substack as well. Plus, all the writing I do. So Substack
Yeah,
is a pretty good way. If you only do
I'm
one social media platform, you know,
yeah,
follow me on Substack.
I'm also on Substack too. I just use it as a blog. So
Yeah.
and we
Yeah, it's
follow
cool. I
each other.
like Substack.
So
Yeah, we follow each other. Yeah, Substack's cool. I mean, you connect with people on it, obviously, and it's just yeah, it's slowly becoming like my favorite, I think. And I hope it keeps catching on. I think in a lot of ways, and obviously they're very different, but I think in some ways Substack is sort of like the closest thing we have to what MySpace used to be.
yeah,
And yeah, in the
yeah.
in the sense that, like, you can do like, you can post a video, you can post a stream, you can post a blog, you can post a podcast, and it's just, like, a good hub for all that because every post is just treated as a post. So, yeah,
Come to
I
think of
try
it,
to post every weekday.
that's what MySpace should have been from the very beginning. What Substack is now.
It kinda
It's just a thought,
was. I mean,
kind of thought I had.
yeah, like, it kinda was. I mean, MySpace back in the day was cool as fuck, and I think none of us realized, like, hey, this is the best platform we're ever gonna have. And unfortunately, like, I don't know. I mean, he sold it. Tom,
Yeah,
and I mean, I don't
yeah.
blame him, man. Tom from MySpace, he just, like,
Hmm.
sold that, made his money, and went
And then he
and
just disappeared. Yeah, he
he's
just
just a
left.
travel photographer now. I mean,
Yeah.
I think he has an Instagram account where he just, like, posts pictures of his travels and lives his life. I mean, he's made more money than he'll ever be able to spend in multiple lifetimes, and he's just
Hmm.
kind of enjoying it. I'd rather the rich do that than, like,
True.
impose their Nazi ideas on a country and buy a social media platform and ruin it, like some rich people do.
Yeah, exactly.
So
So Life on YouTube says I had the coolest MySpace.
I was
Well,
so
if
mad
we
when they
could.
deleted it. Is MySpace just done now? It probably is.
Oh,
I don't know. I
from
mean, I
what
guess
I
you
know,
can find out,
like
like, immediately. Just type it in. Here, I'll do it.
yeah,
I'll just go to myspace.com and see what happens. I think it might oh, it does
it still
redirect.
exists.
It still exists, but it's like a news site, basically.
That's what it sort of became. I think for a while, I mean, dare I say, like,
And it's
Justin
current
Timberlake tried to
news.
buy it. I think,
Yeah,
yeah, Justin Timberlake bought it and tried to make it into, like, a music thing, and then that fell apart, so it's
yeah,
like,
and then, like, Fox News got a hold of it, and that was just the
oh,
end. That was
yeah, it's
like
like you can't resurrect it. Once Facebook took off,
yeah.
my face just went, and
Yeah.
then once Twitter took off, and then, I mean, Facebook happened.
Well, Facebook still managed to remain the big man on campus. I mean, Facebook, like it basically became a news feed, which kind of worked out for it.
Mhm.
And now that it has Instagram, like Meta has always found a way to stay on top.
Yeah,
Again, Twitter imploding itself by, letting Elon
Elon.
Musk, I
Yeah.
mean, he ruined it. I mean, Twitter had its issues before, but he completely ruined it and just made it an infestation of Nazis and porn bots. And, it's so
Yeah.
funny. Like, they're like, oh, yeah, he's all the
Yeah.
people that were saying, oh, he's going to be better for free speech. Oh, really? The platform that shadow bans all of your tweets if you don't pay a monthly fee. That
Yeah.
that's really good for free speech. Okay, cool
Yeah,
story.
that's ridiculous.
Cool story.
That's yeah.
And it defeated the purpose. I mean, the whole point of the blue check mark, and I know like the check mark thing had its issues. Don't get me wrong,
Mhm.
but the
Yeah,
whole point of it was that you could verify that the source was the
it's
person.
real.
So it was a
Yeah.
useful tool for journalists because they would be like, okay, this tweet actually came from this person, so we can quote
Mhm.
it in articles. And that's how Twitter became a useful social media platform. I mean, keep in mind, like only like 20% of social media users were actually on Twitter, but it was people that wanted political content. So it was like the perfect
Mhm.
thing for people like me and you.
Mhm.
But then like Elon bought, so now you don't know who any blue check is, but
Oh,
they're
no.
amplifying their like shitty content, which is usually like, half baked right wing ideas or just straight up like
Yeah.
neo-Nazi bullshit. Yeah, anyway. So
Uh, yeah, it's like I still have my Twitter. I haven't really shut it down. I just keep it around for habit and default. I just really use it to see what other people are posting. Rarely, if ever, do I ever post unless I'm like doing something like this. Only use it for professional reasons, not to just shit post, which is
yeah.
what I used to do during like back when we were still in the initial COVID pandemic. I was shit posting every day, and then I kind of lessened because wasn't really healthy.
Yeah, no, that's true. I mean, yeah, it can be you can definitely go down the rabbit hole with that sort of thing, but yeah.
Yeah. So let's see what else. So you move to LA, you get into the comedy circuit. What were your impressions of it the first time, as far as like the comedy scene?
It was kind of what I expected. I mean, in other cities, like the stand-up scene is like more communal and whatnot,
Hmm.
and it's I mean, I don't know. I hate to be like disparaging, but honestly, I would just say more fun. Whereas
Yeah.
like in LA, it's all about like people are looking over their shoulders, wondering if like somebody with influence is coming in through the door.
Oh,
It's clickier than anywhere else,
you
and
can you could go ahead and answer this. I didn't mean to cut you off, but Donald
yeah.
James wants
Okay,
to
yeah,
know.
I'll answer it right after this.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, no, that's not to say, I mean, you kind of find your creative tribe in LA because there's just so many creative people and you're going to collaborate with people. And so that part's great. But yeah, the stand-up scene itself, I mean, it's fine. Like you can get stage time and you can get opportunities in the club scenes, like the club scene's just hard because it's like, some of the best comics of the world live there. And so,
Hmm.
there's only so many spots to go around. And it's like half the people on the show already have Netflix specials and shit. So it's hard to get like decent club spots in LA, but there are enough that you can get some if you're a working comic or whatever, or even if you're not, I guess. But yeah, so that's basically the stand-up scene in LA. That's my take on it. It's more
Yeah.
I enjoy doing stand-up elsewhere typically, but stand-up in LA can still be a freaking blast. It just depends on the
Yeah.
show, right? So,
Have
yeah.
you come to Kansas City and do stand up?
No.
You haven't?
Actually, I talked about this with, I think Zach from the Vanguard, probably Gavin
Hmm.
too, but I know I remember a conversation with Zach specifically, like, Kansas City randomly, and it's not on purpose. It just randomly worked out this way. It is one of the few major cities I've never performed in, and Kansas, and I know Kansas City is in
Uh-huh.
Missouri and parts in
Yeah,
Kansas, but
Kansas. Yeah.
randomly, the state of Kansas is one of like the only states I've never performed in.
Wow.
There's only like maybe 5 states I've never performed in, and Kansas is randomly one of them.
Hmm.
Oklahoma's another, Alaska, um, and then randomly I've never performed in New Hampshire, and then North Dakota. Those are the only states I haven't performed in, and it's all just random. Now, some of those states I've been to. I've been to New Hampshire, I've been to North Dakota. The only states that I've never performed in and also have never been to is like Kansas, Oklahoma, and Alaska.
Hmm.
Those are the only states I've
If you, I'll say,
actually
if
been
you
to.
do ever get to come over to Kansas City and just hit all three of us, you, me, Gavin, and Zach up, there is a stand-up uh, place. There's
Oh,
a
there's a
comedy place.
bunch. Yeah. No, and if
Yeah,
I ever do,
where I live.
I need to cross the state line and just do something in Kansas just so I can knock it off the bucket list. 'Cause, yeah,
Definitely.
it's like I randomly never done I've done stuff in St. Louis. Um,
Nice.
I've done stuff I mean, yeah, like most of the major cities I've hit at this point, but yeah, Kansas City
Just not,
randomly
it hasn't happened
never
yet.
it just hasn't happened. I've just randomly never I was supposed to do something in Kansas City, and then it ended up getting well, I ended up having to cancel because I ended up getting like a college gig, that was like, so it paid significantly more. So I had to like cancel the Kansas City stuff, or Kansas City adjacent stuff. It wasn't even Kansas City
Mhm.
proper, but yeah. So anyway, yeah.
I
So
guess I should ask that question.
yeah, pull up the status quo
Let's
thing so I
see
can
where. Let's see. Okay, so Donald James X on YouTube has eventually got to ask Ron what his role with Status Quo. I know it's like
yeah,
the best
so
question to ask.
I've guest hosted there a good bit. I have been a regular contributor there for a while. I love Status Quo. I love what they're doing.
Mhm. Yeah,
Right now they're just very hyper focused on their on the ground stuff, which I have
yeah.
done. I mean, I've done some on the ground stuff for them before. But I'm kind of like the lower
Low on the
reinforcement.
totem pole.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because I'm not really a journalist, like I'm a
yeah.
comedian, and I mean, I can do on the ground work, I can definitely do it, um, but, I'm not as strong in that as specialized journalists like,
Hmm.
like
Like
JT,
Jordan is.
like
Yeah.
Jordan and JT and even John Farino when he doubles up and Tina,
Hmm. And
they just have a pretty deep bench. So, they I'm not gonna be called in for that too often.
right.
When they need me, I'm happy to do it. But yeah, like they got other people that specialize in that sort of thing. So like I do more in studio stuff for them. It's been a little quiet as of recent because, again, they've just been so busy with the on the ground stuff. And I know Jordan's, working like 16 hours a freaking day. And I think just, like
Yeah.
he's got at least one kid right now. Maybe it might be two at this point. So,
Yeah. He
so
became
he's,
a father a couple of years ago.
yeah, so he's a busy guy, but yeah, I hope to be active there again. It's just a matter of finding the right fit and finding the right need and finding the right time. Cause yeah, I love collaborating with them. The fact that I
Thank
haven't
you,
been as
BZ.
present there, it's not because of any, it's not because of any like any problem or anything like that. It's just
Right.
they have to prioritize what they need to prioritize. So yeah, that's all. I hope to
Hank
be
is,
back soon. Oh, yeah, Hank's here.
yeah, we gotta say hi to Hank. I mean, I do have to ask though. I mean, one more Jimmy Dore related question. Were you and Hank working at his show at the same time, or was that different? Maybe
Yeah,
Hank
we
did.
overlap some. Yeah, Hank and I overlap some. I mean, Hank was mostly on his way out when I showed up. But yeah, we overlap some. Hank was man in the studio when I first started coming in.
Oh,
And yeah, I mean, that's how we met
hmm.
initially. That's how we first became friends and whatnot. But yeah, Hank left, and then I left some years later.
Yeah. And Looney Tunes would just throw in the comments up here, so at least some people
Yeah, I
get it.
love going on the I love
Mhm.
talking to them. They're fun. They're fun to talk
They're
to. I
great
like
dudes.
Zach and Gavin. They're just fun, and I find what they do very refreshing because it's like there's always been when this whole space like kind of got started, and I'm just old enough to like remember. I've kind of been following it almost since the beginning because like we're talking like 2004. I mean, of course, I was just an observer, for years before I participated in any capacity. But it's like, I mean, I was around and observing it, and it's kind of refreshing that now it's like two dudes out of Kansas City are kind of doing their thing because like for a long
Mhm.
time it was like very much a coastal, like New
Yeah.
York, DC,
New
LA
York,
kind of,
LA. Yeah.
and so yeah, it's really cool that like two just sort of Gen Z dudes in Kansas City are kind of doing
Mhm.
their thing. And yeah, I love, and we also have like common interests. Like Zach and I have some similar music interest, and
Mhm.
Gavin and I are obviously both into film. So it's
Yeah,
like,
same.
I kind of have like common interests with those guys. So it's really fun. I told them we should do a film talk episode for like maybe patrons or like their
Well,
patrons or something. 'Cause
they
sometimes we go
do.
off on tangents, in the stream, and some people are really
Mhm.
into it, and other people are like, "Can you get to the story? We get it.
Yes.
Ron has a movie out, but fucking move
That's
on."
how we do as a
So,
podcast. We just basically shoot the shit. But I
yeah.
do say they probably I hope they don't mind me saying they do have a film channel called Palm Dorks
Oh,
that I'm
really?
sure if
I'll have to
I
ask
mean,
yeah, I
yeah,
didn't
you'll have to
realize.
like I say, I know Gavin pretty well. I've actually met Zach a few times. But I do hang out with Gavin quite a bit every other couple weeks. And I told him I was gonna interview you and if I thought about it more, I would have asked him like any advice. But but yeah, they're great guys, man. And I've done, some film making work with Gavin
Oh,
and
cool. Yeah.
so
So you did some
he's
stuff on the No Clip?
yeah, the
I still gotta
third
catch up,
film.
man. He's got
Yeah.
he's got 3. I mean, dude, I watched the
Yeah.
first one, and then he's like, "Yeah, I'm working on the 3rd." I'm like, "Holy shit, man. You're like
Yeah,
you're 3 deep
I mean,
already?"
that here's the thing, that persistence, that he has, I'm even impressed. So, I mean, he
Yeah,
has
it's making a
talents.
movie is fucking intense. I'm working on
Yeah.
my second one, which Hank is edit Hank, get out of the chat and edit the movie. No, just kidding. But, but yeah, like, yeah, yeah, I think this
No, stay, Hank, stay.
this is probably gonna be my last one, I think, as far as, like, being at the realm. 2 is enough.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, but I say his persistence is just even impressive. We did a lot of work around town, especially in this, like, outdoor shopping area, for the No Clip 3, which most of it probably won't be in the final film because there was just a lot of footage to shoot. But I can tell you, his persistence. I mean, Gavin's persistence was amazing. Like
Yeah,
working with him and doing the film work. I mean, I got bit really
that's
by the
awesome.
filmmaking bug. So
That is awesome. Yeah,
shout out to
glad to hear.
Gavin and kudos to him. So if he sees this, the great trick to good and very slow filmmaking is to hire. um, so I guess first I had like so much other stuff I was gonna ask or take notes. So I guess I'll kind of combine some of this stuff. So you do a podcast called 1,000 People. Is it
It's
1,000?
called 1000 with Ron Placone, and the premise of it is I interview like 1,000 different people that I feel are like doing creative and inspiring work amidst
Mhm,
society in decline. And
mhm,
also I highlight how they get their ideas out there. So it's sort
mhm.
of like, 1,000 different stories on how, like they're spreading a certain message, a certain idea. A lot of it's political, not all of it is. I mean, I
Right.
have I have musicians, I have I mean, I've had everything.
Authors.
I've had authors, I've had
Yeah.
sex workers, I've had, like all kinds of different types of people who come from
Mhm.
different walks of life. There are even some cases where I don't even know who's someone's personal politics. You know what I mean? Because it's just
Mhm.
like not
Yeah,
relevant
exactly.
to the guest.
Yeah.
Um, no fascists. That's the only rule.
No,
That's
yeah.
the only.
No
I have some,
fascists, no
I
Nazis.
have some non-political guests, but they are all definitely not fascists. I don't know exactly,
Right.
but I know that they're not fascists. That's my only rule.
I mean, because I've been listening for over 2 years, and I gotta say, I watch the YouTube videos. I actually listen when I'm out and about. You've had, besides Gavin and Zach, you've had Kennedy Cooper, Thomas Frank,
Yep.
a lot of good people that are, they're just great. I mean, Thomas Frank, I mean, I'm reading 3 of his books right now, just
Yeah, he's
out of watching, listen to your interview with him. So it's like, and he's also a fellow Kansas City native. I mean, he lives
that's
in
right.
Virginia,
Yes,
but
that's
he's from
right.
here. He lived. I was surprised to find out that he was living here during the pandemic. That he sold his house and moved to Virginia
Mhm.
permanently, but he was actually riding his bike through the Country Club Plaza, which is the outdoor shopping area. I mean,
He
I probably would have
he's a
found.
cool guy too, man, and he's also like a punk rocker.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, he's a big punk. I think he talks about it pretty regularly, but yeah, the first time I ever discovered that about him was like while I was doing an interview with the guy. But yeah, yeah, he's a big punk rocker too.
That was. I mean, mostly everybody like in the leftist like author podcast bureau, they all like punk music. So I'm in good
Or
company.
they should,
I'm in good
yeah.
company. Yeah, I'm in great company, man. I'm in such great company. Um, so how did that get started? So that's basically how it got started, was you just interviewed a bunch of people
It's funny, I
and
always wanted to do it. Like, I had the idea for a long time, and the way the idea started, and I do mention this in, like, the trailer of the show, um,
mhm,
I had so many years ago when I still lived in Nashville, I had a morning show there for a hot minute, and I got to
mhm,
interview some really, really cool people. And one of the people that I interviewed, it was while I was traveling, but it was like for the radio show. I got to interview a guy named V Val in San
mhm,
Francisco where he lives. V Val is the founder of Research Publications.
mhm,
They've published Billy Childish, Henry Rollins, Jello Biafra,
mhm,
and basically, Vival is the last living member of the Beat generation. He
mhm,
started his publisher with $100 that he got from Allen Ginsberg, and then another $100 that he got from Lawrence Ferlinghetti. Um, so I got to interview him, and we were just kind of talking shop about publishing and how he feels about the world, and he just said, I'm pretty sure there's only 1,000 interesting people in the world, and it's my job to document that as much as possible. And I don't think he was being literal with that. Like, of course, there's more than 1,000, plus like who knows who is anyone to decide what is and isn't interesting, right? But I kind of
mhm,
thought the sentiment of it, the idea of documenting 1,000 different people and how they're contributing, what they're contributing to the world, and why, like the author of this thinks that's important to share, is a very cool premise for a show. So I had
mhm,
this idea for like a long time, but it was just never the right time. And then when I kind of, walked away from the YouTube space the way, and kind of had a different type of relationship with it than I used
mhm,
to. Um,
mhm.
and I got really burnt out on doing my prior news and politics show, Get Your News On with Ron.
Right,
I just kind of got burnt out on all of that. And it's not, like it was more just a me thing than anything else. I mean, I know some people like
right.
they really appreciate it, Get Your News On with Ron, they miss it, and that means a lot to me. But I really feel like 1,000 is by far the best thing I've ever done in the podcasting space. Like by far, it's just like I'm really proud of those episodes, and I encourage people, even though it's not a news and politics show, it is still very much a political show. And
Mhm,
like there's a lot of like, just interesting things from those guests. And then uh Greg Pallas gave me a good shout out to Jello Biafra And
Mhm.
so my first interview for this new podcast that I was thinking about launching, but wasn't even sure if I was going to launch, was with Jello Biafra. I got to interview Jello. He spoke for like 3 hours. And so after that happened, I'm like, well, I guess I got to do this fucking podcast. I can't just like sit on this interview with Jello Biafra. I got to do this
Yeah.
podcast. It wasn't
Yeah.
the first episode I dropped. But it was like the first episode I recorded. So then I started like recording more episodes, and then I decided I'm gonna do this podcast and release it, and it's gonna be my new main podcast.
Your
So
main thing.
yeah.
I mean,
How
I
about
like. I mean, yeah. I mean, I like it,
thank you.
and the episode with Kennedy Cooper was really good. So
Yeah,
that's
Kennedy's
what got me
awesome.
hooked.
Oh,
Yeah.
thank you for that. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. No,
I got to,
that's the cool thing. Like you get to you kind of get to like have a heart to heart with people one on one, and it's like when I interviewed, I didn't interview the Vanguard together. Like I interviewed them separately.
right separately.
And then I dropped. I wasn't gonna drop them in sequence, but then I decided, well, I should because like they each had similar stories because like a lot of their story is them starting this show together. So like, well, we need to like kind of compare and contrast their different assessment of things. But yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's a good podcast. I enjoy it, and I hope you keep doing it. That's what I do with every other podcast person that I meet. It's just like in real life,
We gotta
it's like
make
I
it
don't.
to 1,000, so I gotta keep doing it for a while. We
Yeah,
we're not
definitely.
there yet. We're only at like, I think I just dropped like 130 something, like maybe 136, I think.
Hmm.
So yeah, I still got a long way to go until I reach 1,000.
1,000.
So
So
yeah, I did the math. I'll be at an age by the time I'm finished, I'll be at an age where I'm like, this will probably be like the last podcast I do. I mean, who
yeah.
knows? But chances are, like, I'm not gonna like once this is done, I'm
It's
not gonna be
done.
like, oh, it's
Yeah.
time to start a new pod. Like once this is done, like it's done, it's over. Like the show is
Mhm.
over. So yeah, so that kind of makes it fun. It's like I really try to do the best I can in the interviews because I know this is it. Like, I'm not gonna have a person back, right? So,
Mhm.
you know,
Yeah.
anyway.
Unless that person, you look back and you read and you listen to it and like, let's do another one. I will try to improve. That's my thing.
Yeah, I mean, I've only had to redo like one episode, and it was just because there was like something like I wasn't able to drop it for like a couple different reasons, and so by the time like eventually it just got to the point where it was like just so dated that I was like,
Mhm.
will you just re-record this episode with me? And so that's only happened once, almost twice, because there was another person that they just spoke about some things that they kind of needed to be quiet about. And so they asked me, I mean, nothing like super major,
Nothing
but
terrible.
something
Yeah.
pertinent to like their career. Um,
Mhm.
and so they hit me up and they were like, "Hey, can we just like redo it?" And I said, "Yeah." And we just haven't gotten that scheduled yet. So anyway,
Oh,
so
gotcha.
there have
Yeah.
been a couple false starts or whatever, but for the most part,
Yeah.
it's been like a one and done thing.
So getting into filmmaking, because I do want to talk. I haven't seen it yet, so it'd be weird to talk about it before I do. But
Well, you have to have
Left
me
at
back
Wall.
once you watch it.
Yeah.
You'll have to invite me back
But
after you watch the movie.
definitely. Or I could come on when you are on the Substack,
Yeah,
doing your Substack
yeah, let's do
show.
it. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So getting into filmmaking, like what was the premise of the idea of Left at Wall in like just a basic?
So the GameStop thing happened in 2021, which for anyone who doesn't
Mhm.
remember what that is, it's when a bunch of people bought the GameStop stock and it caused the price to go up, and then it screwed over a bunch of hedgers who were trying to short sell it because like the price went
Mhm.
up. So then like it was worth more than what they borrowed it for. And when that happened, everybody on Wall Street was freaking the fuck out, and it
Mhm.
was hilarious to me the way they were like making these claims that weren't like they were like they hacked it. They didn't hack anything. They just bought a stock. Like what they did was totally legal. And like the big fat cats on Wall Street, they do shit like that all the time to like manipulate the market. And for once, like the little guy kind of got a win. And I know not everybody involved with that thing was like the most, the most genuine of people, and I'm sure a lot of them I had a lot of strong disagreements with. Not everybody,
Mhm.
but but I thought like big picture wise, it was quite an interesting event. And so I got this idea that I'm like, it'd be fun to kind of make a movie that's a fictional story, but sort of like uses this as a backdrop. Uh,
Mhm.
so I wrote it pretty quickly, and then I, financed the trailer myself. Um,
Which I did see, and it's
okay,
actually
you
really
saw
well
the
done.
trailer. I appreciate it. And I asked Gareth Reynolds from The Dollop to play the main guy. And then I wasn't sure, like basically the main character are two brothers, and I asked Gareth to
Mhm.
play the one brother, and I wasn't sure what I was gonna do for the other. I ended up playing him, but I wasn't totally sure that I was gonna play him. I thought about getting someone else to do it, but budgetary, it was cheaper for me
Yeah,
to hire me because 'cause I'll work for free for me. So I was just
right.
like, I think I'm gonna come in good on the budget if I can not pay the main lead. And I think the
Mhm.
only way I can pull that off is if I play him. So I decided to play the main guy. Did that in my next movie too.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I decided to play the main guy. Gareth Reynolds was on board. I got incredibly lucky because like my entire wish list, everybody said yes. Which was like super light. Like I wanted Eddie Pepitone to play the bartender. He was down to do it.
Mhm.
I had a role in mind for Dave Anthony. He was into it. Part of it was like a lot of these roles weren't super demanding, so I was able to like get people in and out. Like it was like I only took up a day of their time or less. But yeah, so that was left at Wall, and we shot it, and then post production was a very long process, but eventually we got it to the finish line, got a distribution deal, and it's
Mhm.
out now. It won Best Feature at the Pro to Post Film Festival in Italy.
Nice.
It appeared at the Da Vinci Film Festival, the San Pedro International Film Festival. We had screenings that sold out in Pittsburgh and Los Angeles. We had other screenings in DC and Tucson, Arizona, and Idlewild, California. I went
Nice.
out and did a screening and show in London.
Oh,
Um,
nice.
so yeah, it was cool. I mean, and it's out now. Please
It's
check it
all
out.
on Tubi and where you
Yeah,
just described.
it's
Yep.
on a bunch of platforms. I recommend Tubi because Tubi's free.
It's
Um,
left at Wall for
Left
anyone
that
who's,
wall. Yeah, and if you're not sure which platform you wanna watch it on, you can just go to my website, ronplacone.com. There's a Left at Wall tab, and it shows
mhm.
all the places where you can watch Left at Wall. You can rent it right on YouTube if you do YouTube movies. So there's plenty of ways to get it. If you're not in the United States, there's, like, some territory bullshit.
Like some, what do you call VPN type stuff?
Yeah, like you might need a VPN, but yeah, just email me if you like. I know
Yeah.
some people in Australia have like I don't know if they were able to get it via Hoopla or how that works, but I think there's
Or
a
yeah,
way, but it's like it's not distributed. It's
outside of the United States
yeah, well,
or
North America. So
North
it's in
America.
Canada and I guess Mexico, right? And some of
Mhm.
the other North, like any countries that qualify as North America.
Like region 1, region 2 kinda
Yeah,
thing,
yeah.
by region.
Yeah, I've actually not
Is
man,
it
I feel
is
so
it also
I feel so geographically ignorant right now, but I'm not sure if Mexico is still
yeah,
considered north or if Mexico's, uh
yeah. Is it out on any kind of physical media? As I should probably
yeah,
mention that, like DVD,
uh,
Blu-ray,
yeah, it is
if
on
anyone
DVD. Yeah, you can
yeah.
buy it on DVD. Okay, so Mexico is still part of the North American continent. I feel so ignorant, I didn't know that, but
Oh, yeah.
yeah, I wasn't sure where it ends. But yeah, you can buy it on DVD for any physical
Okay.
media stands, you can totally
Hey,
buy it on DVD.
I have a
Yeah.
stan,
Yeah, no, dude,
unfortunately.
I was surprised to hear it. Like I didn't know if anyone still bought DVDs because I was nervous when they were like the distributor was like, "We're gonna do DVDs," and I'm like, "That's great." I'm scared.
So
I'm scared to. I'm scared I won't sell any, but people like DVDs, so
yeah,
yeah. YouTube is censoring leftist Ron. Time to move on from YouTube. Yeah, I agree. My
yeah.
channel is shadow
You
banned.
can't even yeah, you can't
I
even
can't
live
even
stream.
I can't even enable. Well, I can live stream, but I can't enable live chats. They they fucked with this setting that I like every time I enable it, it like goes back to being disabled. And it just keeps like it's just weird fucking I read it on the piece where I talk about the Jimmy Dore show and quitting that I talk about how that happened.
Yeah,
Or at least when it started happening, and I can't help notice the trend here. So yeah, you can kind of read the details on that, but it's like, it's hard to completely avoid YouTube entirely, but I try to make my
yeah,
stuff available elsewhere. Like I'm on Substack and I'm very active there. I'm on all the social media platforms. So I try to be as available as I possibly can. But yeah, I don't really rely on YouTube um, all that much.
I mean, for me, I mean, this is just a hobby at the moment, so it's not
Mhm.
any kind of like money making thing. Like, I'm not trying to like quote
Oh, I
unquote
don't
like
make money on YouTube. I mean, I did at
so,
one point, but yeah, I don't at the
yeah,
moment. I don't make any money on YouTube. Um,
yeah.
yeah.
But it's no big deal right now. I'm pretty good. Um, Hanks Covet, he's in the chat. I'm not shadow banned. I'm just very bad at YouTube.
Yeah,
We
I mean,
all
I'm
are.
not
Hank.
great at it, don't get me wrong, I'm not great at it, but yeah, I just yeah, I mean, it's just one day, like, all kinds of weird things started happening in my channel,
Yeah,
and I've never quite been able to, like, get it back on track, so,
yeah.
what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do?
It's just
Um,
there's like also just a lot of beyond YouTube, just leftist creators on YouTube and Twitch and elsewhere that are getting banned and shadow banned and their channels taken away. And it's been happening a lot more on the left side of the
yeah.
political and social spectrum recently. So
Well, that's
it's
the I mean, yeah, and that's the crazy thing about it, like, they make it out like it's like they try to make it out like, "Oh, the right is actually better for free speech and this and that." It's just like, well, yeah, until you wanna protest on a college campus or until you're,
right.
like, an actual leftist. When you look at what they censor, it's always the left more than anything else. But
Hmm.
they'll, like, point to something like, "Oh, well, Alex Jones, look at" it's like, yeah, Alex Jones had his day in court and he fricking lost. That's
Yeah.
how free speech laws work. He had his day in court, he fricking lost. Like, anyway.
And now what is it? Infowars is now owned by the Onion.
Yeah, Tim Heidecker's there. I
And
think that's
yeah,
fucking hilarious.
it's a
Yeah, I love it. I'm here for it. I like Tim
yeah.
Heidecker. He's a
Yeah,
funny guy.
same.
Yeah,
I
I
will
like him.
say that I did watch was it on Adults when Tom Goes to the Mayor and Tim and Eric Awesome Show, great job back in the
Mhm.
day. Never told that to anyone before, but that was back in the early Adult Swim days. But I just have to ask, do you have a book or are you writing any books or do you have a book out
I don't have a
currently
book
or
out. Yeah, no, never did a book. It's on my
oh
list.
damn.
Yeah, I hope to one day do a book, but I have not done one yet. But
Just I've
someday.
been list oh go ahead, yeah.
Yeah, someday.
Just some
Someday I'll write
yeah.
a book.
I mean, because I've been again listening to your podcast. I'm actually looking forward to watching your film. I've you had Thomas Frank on, and so I've been reading a lot of his books, and I was just like, does Ron have a book?
I do not.
Does
Yeah, no,
Placone have a book? I mean, I
it
need.
is I do have a couple ideas floating around, and I have run them by some people. It's nothing that, I'm ready to, like, share publicly because it's, like,
Right
sort of just
at
an
the moment.
embryo. But yeah, I'm pretty confident at some point there will be a book from me. It's not on I mean, right now, my main thing is the movie, and then, we got another movie that's in post. I do have some other film projects that are out there just totally publicly. Like my short film Loner is out. You can just
Mhm,
watch that on my YouTube channel, just youtube.com/Ron Placone. There's a vertical series that I did called Frank Azuri. That's basically like a metaphor for climate change. You can
mhm,
watch the first season of that on Status Quo. We did it. Status Quo released the whole series because we did the pilot for a film festival in Rome, and it got in, but then we were kind of like, well, what are we gonna do next? It's just like premiere.
Yeah.
What's next? So we made a series, and Status Quo carried it. So yeah, so I have other film stuff out there, and then of course like you can find like my stand up and yeah, I know I got to get to it. And yeah, and I have a new show out now called Anti-Fascist Pasta Night. That'll be I'll be in Los Angeles on May 16th, New York City on June 5th, and the Edinburgh Fringe Festival August 6th through 30th. So if you're in any of those three cities, you can get tickets and all information at ronplacone.com.
And maybe you'll come to Kansas City. Who knows?
I hope so. Yes, it is on the list. Kansas City.
Well, this was fun. I mean, I honestly respect you a lot more, man.
No,
and like you're the first comedian actually that I've actually had on the show.
Enough. Like I respect you more now. Good job.
I have had fellow leftist podcasters. I think I've had a couple authors. I've had people running for political office, and now you are the first comedian, at least. Well,
oh, cool.
Maybe second. Hank, I had on a year ago, and he has done some comedy. So
yeah, Hank's
yeah,
a comedian. Yeah, all right.
Yeah.
Well, I'm the second. That's pretty cool.
So I do have to ask you because this actually came to mind. So Left at Wall went to all the film festivals, but not Sundance, not New York Film.
No, it didn't go to the biggest ones. No,
not Slam Dance.
The ones that are insanely difficult to get into, and most of the films have about 10 times the budget that Left at Wall did. We did not get into any of those
because that's what happened with No Clip. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, it's hard. I mean, yeah. If you get into anything, you're a lot better off than most, you know. So simping.
I must have been something on Jam Job.
I mean, I don't know what that means.
Simping is like someone, if you like fan worship over someone, which, you know, if it's done right, you're.
Oh no, I know what simping is, but what does that mean? Simping was screened.
Oh, I don't know. Maybe YouTube probably doesn't like the comment.
Oh, okay.
Well,
all right.
I'm sorry, Don.
Yeah, sorry.
Gonna rewind and listen. Oh yeah, there's like we went over our intended 50-minute limit time, but that's fine. Let's see. I'm a very funny comedian. I haven't done in years being very bad. Oh, come on, Hank. You showed. I'll say this. He showed me his attempted stand-up that he did. I forget where. And I actually really, really liked it. So don't be too hard on yourself, man.
Yeah.
Don't be too hard on. You're really funny. You're a funny man. And you're a great editor, too. I mean, what you're doing, what he's doing now with like Tell the Truth Jank, I mean, you got a lot of courage, a lot of guts to do.
Yeah. That kind of he's editing my next movie too. So
yeah.
So looking forward.
He has mentioned it.
World. You gotta watch the Left at Wall. You gotta watch Left at Wall. So then when the next one's out,
and I'll be more prepared.
The next one's out. Yeah. But yeah, man. Well, dude, thanks so much for having me. I really appreciate this.
Yeah, same. Oh, I usually I go for just one hour and a half. And what's this? Screen by? Did you set certain rules for moderation? Like, I did not. I did not. I have no idea. I have no idea. I'll actually check that. Because again, maybe it's a YouTube thing. Maybe it's the YouTube bot's end, not mine. I swear to whatever you want to believe, God or and Hank again. Oh, I just like putting his comments up. I know, that's what I'm saying. Hilarious AF. Yeah, you are hilarious, Hank. You are so hilarious. Yeah, B-Cat says thank you, John, or thank you, Ron, for being here. So
thanks for having me.
Absolutely. I guess we could just plug. This is the end of the show where you just plug.
Yeah, sure. So yeah, again, you can find me online, Ron Placone. I'm on all the social platforms at Ron Placone, Instagram, Twitter. My YouTube is just Ron Placone. Substack, which I highly recommend. Substack's the one I'm most excited about. So Substack, Ron Placone. My movie Left at Wall is out now. And you can get that on a bunch of different platforms. Again, it's just called Left at Wall. I recommend Tubi because it's free on Tubi. If you're not sure where to get it, you can just go to my website, ronplacone.com. There's a tab that lists all the places you can see Left at Wall. Yeah, I got some shows coming up. May 16th, Los Angeles, June 5th, New York City, August 6th through 30th, the Edinburgh Fringe Festival. You can get tickets and all information at ronplacone.com. Yeah, so
Yeah.
if I'm coming to a city near you, come on out to a show. If times are tough and you're low on funds, but you want to attend a show, email me and we'll work something out. We'll figure that out. I don't want anyone to not be able to attend. Although, if you want to attend in Edinburgh, those shows are free anyway because it's part of the free fringe. So,
Yeah, exactly.
but
So
yeah,
you,
Charles, thank you so much for that. Thank you very much for
yeah,
that, Charles. I appreciate it. Good to have you on board.
yeah. So that was it. This was fun. Thanks
This
for
was a blast. Thanks for having me, man.
and I, again, I will watch Left at Wall, and I hope I can come on to your Substack and we can
Yes,
talk
I'll have
about
you
it.
on my Substack. We'll do this again. I think we can also do like a joint Substack stream if you ever want to do that.
I will say real
Yeah,
quickly,
we can do that.
I'm starting to learn how to use Substack because I just figured out
All right.
they have a podcast and a live stream. So
All right. Well,
and then you can
dude,
just
let's
add
collab
people there.
again
Yeah.
soon. This was a lot of fun.
Heck
And
yeah, man.
and if you talk to the Vanguard guys again before I do, tell them I said hello.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And like I said, I did tell Gavin I'm interviewing and he gets a shout out. So
Right
he
on.
got the shout out.
All
All right,
man.
Thanks, Ron.
Thanks for having me. Peace.
Peace. All righty. That was Mr. Ron Placone himself, the man himself. Let's see if I can go to, well, I don't know if I'm going to be able to go to full screen. Yes, thank you, Hank. Oh, thank you. Let me see if I could put some of these comments before, yes, thank you, Soul Life. Thank you, Soul, for putting the tabs, the stuff. If I can just do it. It's supposed to show, but obviously. But yeah, the links for Ron's material where you can find his stuff, it'll be in the chat. So all right. Well, that's all I had. Am I gonna do a movie stream tonight on the Green website? Yes, I am. That's not somebody just saying that in chat. That's me saying I'm gonna do a movie stream. Yeah, how was your says to me, how was your math exam? I haven't had it yet. Reference frame. That's next week. So I'm actually, I have a lot of work to do, but I actually was able to squeeze in this interview because I haven't done one in a while. So I'm actually grateful that Ron was able to come on and again talk for an hour and 22 minutes. So let me see. Oh, thanks, Dawn. Remember to rate out. Yeah, absolutely, Vidingale. I was going to actually do that now to say who to raid to the for the Twitch side. Let me just close some tabs. But this was fun. This was awesome. I don't know when my next interview stream is going to be. I think this really probably put a fire in me that wants to do more. So this was number 16. This was 16 interviews. So I've been doing this, what, 5 years, 6 years? Yeah, 5 years. Yeah, 2020. Or no, scratch that, reverse it, 2021 when I first started doing this. So yeah, I'm actually, for the Twitch side, I am going to raid. I will go to Ghost Pepper Lollipop and I will raid into them, or raid out to them, however you say it. While I'm doing that, I'll just say I'm grateful for everyone here. Thanks to everybody. Thanks to the moderators. Thanks to Vidingale. Thanks to Don. Thanks to Adrian Vixen. Thanks to Soul Life. Thanks to BCat. Thanks to Jet. Thanks to Looney Tune. Thanks to Charles, who was in chat. Uh, let's see. Reference frame. Hank, obviously, before I forget. Hank Thompson. Go follow Hank and Bark Eater Jay and in Twitch as well. But also go follow Hank. Do we get a YouTube raid? No, unfortunately, we just get a Twitch raid, Charles. So if you have a Twitch, I'm on the purple site. I'm also on the green site. Go follow me there as well because I do movie site or movie channels, movie streams. Let's see here. Where is my oh, thank you, Charles. I appreciate that. Let me see it. Trying to multitask here. I know I can do this thing where I can do the dash or the thing and it says Ghost Pepper Lollipop, but I don't want to go to all that trouble. So let's see. Is Ghost Pepper Lollipop if Fighting Gale is in chat, is Ghost Pepper Lollipop live? I'm not seeing them in the following. Do they have I'll probably just do Twitch. Is Ghost Pepper Lollipop live? Let's see. I'll do the dash or the slant. I don't know how else to say it on the keyboard. And I talk too much that I have to go back to the chat to see where Ghost Pepper Lollipop on Twitch is. Okay. I wish I could okay. I should be able to do this properly. Thank you, Looney Tunes, for saying subscribe to Left to the Box. Okay, let's Pepper. Yes, they're live. Okay. Is it PEPPERLOLLIP 0? Oh, no. Hold on. I'm trying to do this properly. So LOIP. There. Is it Raid Ghost Pepper Lollipop? Do I have to say Raid and then at Ghost Pepper Lollipop? I'm asking Vitingale and if they're still in chat. It's Raid. Is it how to do this? Let's see. Is it _ Raid? Without the at. Okay. Yeah. Thanks for stopping by, Hank. I should probably stop putting. Yeah. Thanks for stopping by. Okay. Do it through Stream Manager. Raid Ghost Pepper Lollipop without the. Okay. Without the commas. Okay. Good. Thank you, Fightingale. I appreciate it. No at symbol. Okay. Because I have them open at the Stream Manager and I have Raid channel. I don't see them. Raid. Okay. Ghost Pepper Lollipop. Okay. Ghost Pepper L. Oh, let me see if I can do this correctly. Okay, I think I did it without the asterisks. Okay. Without the at symbol and at symbol quotas. Okay, now let's see. 1, 3, 2, 1. Let's see if it sent it out. So or maybe let's see. I wish I could just search. Let me see if I could also search them. if that, just to be say on the safe side. We're doing it live. Okay. Let me also do this way, Nightingale, because I just want to make sure I do this. Okay. I'll just do it this way. Unless it already says start raid. Okay. I'm going to start the raid. One people. Oh, no worry. I'm actually going to start it. So I'm going to raid out now. So I will be back later tonight for our movie channel, for the movie night on the other side. So peace.